Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the Amana Range Hinge Receiver Kit. It's going to be a very easy repair and it's only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the instructions in the hinge receivers. The hinge receivers are located on the body of the range, and it's where the hinges hook into. The main reason to be changing them out is if they're damaged and the oven door isn't opening and closing properly. In order to get to the part, we have to take off the oven door. First thing we're going to do is open it up. Once you have it open, you can use a flathead screwdriver to lock the hinges. If you look right here in the oven cavity, there's a little tab right here. We're going to pull this forward with a flathead screwdriver and lock it in place. This will allow us to take the door off without the hinge closing. Once you have this one done, we can go do the one on the other side. With the hinges locked, we can lift up on the door. It's only going to close about halfway. And then we can carefully lift it off the hinges on each side. Once you have the door off the range, you can set it aside. Now that we have the door off, we can reach down and take the drawer off. If you have anything in it, you want to remove it. Once you have it cleared out, you can lift it off and set it aside. Now that we have the storage drawer out, we can remove the screws that hold the top to the side panel. There's one located on each side. We're going to use a Phillips screwdriver to take them out. Now that we have the screws out, we can lift up the top to release the tabs, and we're going to slide it over a little bit at an angle so we have access to the 4 screws that hold the top on. At this point, the instructions tell you to take all the wires off the elements and take the cooktop off the range, but we found that we could just slide it back and forth and take the screws out. We're going to use our Phillips screwdriver to take out the front screw. Once you have that one out, we can use the quarter-inch nut driver to take out the screw in the back. We're going to use a magnetic quarter-inch nut driver on this screw. You want to be careful that you don't drop it into the oven cavity and lose it. Once you have both screws on this side out, we can go do the other side. Now that you have all the screws out, we're going to center the cooktop. You don't have to line it up perfect or anything. We're just going to center it up. Then we go around back and take off the access panel. So we're going to use our Phillips screwdriver to remove the 4 screws that hold it on. Once you have the last screw off, you can set the panel aside. Now that we have the access panel out of the way, we can take out the 3 screws on each side with the Phillips screwdriver. Now we take the side panels off. We have to unhook it from the back. There's 2 screws back here on the top that if your panel is pinched between here too tight, you may have to loosen those up, but you should be able to slide it out without it. And then there's a couple pins that the panel mounts on the front. So we're going to slide it forward, and then pull it off and set it aside. Once you have it out, we can push it forward off the mounting pins in the front, and then pull it off and set it aside. With the side panels off, we can use our 5/16 nut driver to remove the 2 screws that hold each hinge receiver to the body. Once you have both screws out, you can lift the hinge receiver out of the body. Once you have it out, you can set it aside. Here's the old hinge receivers next to the new hinge receiver kit. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. To put the hinge receivers in, all you have to do is set them down into place and line up the screw holes. You may notice that the manufacturer didn't put any threads in these, so you're going to have to cut them with the screws. So they may be a little harder to drive through, but they'll go through, no problem. Want to leave the first one loose so we can move it around and line up the second one. And then once you have both of them in, we can tighten them both down. Once you have this side installed, we can go do the one on the other side. Now that we have the hinge receiver kit installed, we can put the range back together. To put the side panels on, we have to line up the little mounting pegs with the cutouts in the side panel, and then we can slide it back and lock them in place. Once you have those in, we can wrap the back side around and lock it in place. On the back side, you want to make sure it goes behind this panel. Once you have it in place, we can put the screws in. We're going to put in the upper two screws. We're going to use the Phillips screwdriver to put in the front one, and the 1/4 inch nut driver to put in the back one. Now that we have both screws in, we can shift the top over so we can put the other side on. Now that we have the screws in, we can center the top and position it correctly. To center the top, we're just going to lift it up and line it up on each side so it's centered. Once you have it in place, we're going to lift it up a little bit and make sure that these tabs go into their slots. Once you have it in place, we can use the Phillips screwdriver to put in the two front screws. Now we're going to put in the 6 screws that hold the side panels to the frame. Now that we have the side panel secure, we can put the access panel on. All you have to do is line it up, and you can hold it with your knee while you line up the screw holes. And then we can use our screwdriver to put in the Phillips screws. Now we're back at the front of the range. We're going to put the drawer and the door back on. We're going to put the drawer in first. All you have to do is line it up on the rollers and push it back into place. Once you have it in, we can put the oven door on. In order to put the door back on the range, all you have to do is hook the hinges into the receivers. Once you have it in, we can open the door up all the way. Once you have the door all the way open, we can use our flathead screwdriver to release the locks. All you have to do is push them up into the oven body. Once you have this side done, we can do the one on the other side. Once you have both locks released, we can close the oven door, plug it back in, and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.